in the third map, they won six maps straight.
Yeah, it's looking certainly comfortable going into this second map. It's going to be Inferno, delivered by Jason Moses O'Toole and Vince Hill. ENCE eSports trying to put Liquid in the bag here, but it's only going to be one of those things where time tells the story. Make some noise, Fodic. Let's get into our second map in this first pistol round.
Well, it all comes down to this. ENCE 16 rounds away from eliminating Team Liquid far earlier than they expected here at IEM Katowice in the CSGO Major. And that would be a stunning turn of events. We'll see if they've got it in them. A little bit of a smile, and you'll have to wait and see what our Inferno has in store from the coach. And Liquid, they better have a good T-side. They better look like the aggressors. They better pick it up because they did not look like a team in that first map. Now running into a stack on the rap side. Twist and Stewie gonna make it in towards Arches. It's just Sergey, but he's got his teammate. Big kill for Stewie. Alu alone at B. And Stewie's gonna try and stick around and cut off the rotations, but now he's under pressure. And now Alu can just safely dedicate himself towards this bomb site.
Yeah, it's all about buying time for Alu at this stage, and he's not necessarily got any kills, but he's able to dart away as Stewie 2K has met his fate. Liquid, 2-on-3, retake. Need this desperately. Unleash Nitro, come out swinging, and will hold on. Liquid pick up the pistol on their choice of an Inferno.
I like that play from ENCE though. I mean, they had 3 players coming through that choke point. It was very early on. They could have used the bomb timer to try and pick off, but why not get into that site? The bomb just got planted. You know where he's going to be. You know the location of just one. So take this fight early when you have him pinned down, when you have the knowledge. Unfortunately, the battles just don't go their way. So Team Liquid getting off to a hot start, or at least a nice start, on their offensive side.
It's going to be a force back from ENCE, however. A couple SMGs and upgraded pistols. We saw the difference that Liquid went in when they were on the AK side of the Ts. They went for 3 AKs and 2 Galils, I believe. Now a lot more SMGs in play. Want to get up close and personal. Be careful, because with Deagles, CZs, and SMGs on the side of ENCE, this quickly get into horrible territory. Just X7 by himself.
Some fancy Deagle work. Smoke is going to put a stop to that, listening for the footsteps because he can't see a thing. He does have a smoke himself that he's going to toss out and just spot. It's not bad, but it doesn't help him a whole lot as he tries to make the run. Liquid not going to commit to anything, though. Bomb still down at the base of T-Ramp. That has pulled Alu and Alexi away from an A-site stack. And more delay tactics with these smokes. Still 2 remaining for ENCE. One just used the bomb site of B, and now Aerial, the only one left. But that B smoke, ENCE knows, would bring the clock down very low if Liquid were there, so just stacking towards 4 players. Another great read from ENCE, and another dangerous scenario for Liquid.
They roll the dice. Is it going to come good for ENCE? 27 seconds remaining. It's a complete massacre. It's all the way up the fins. Stewie 2K in a 1-on-3 with 20 seconds, and he goes the same way, straight down. ENCE instantly bounced back.
That is such a great round, and again, those smokes in those second rounds so deadly and perfectly timed in hauls. If that player can get out with his vision, he can so much easier help his teammates get into the site. But what a crushing round. Doesn't even look like a whole lot of communication going back and forth for Team Liquid. They just get obliterated. 4 players at so many different angles, so many crossfires set up. ENCE respond immediately.
We saw how flat Liquid were on their T side of Mirage. This is where they're going to get tested early on. Ali takes a bit of damage on mid, but it is information gathered. And with the smoke in the eyes of Liquid, they can't really push behind this. I mean, think about it out of Boiler, but if Nitro goes out, he should be a dead man. He's got 2 players looking at that location.
And Sergey had such a good first map as well. He came alive in this quarterfinal on Mirage. Quiet, as the desk said, lowest rated player for ENCE throughout the Legend stage. Well, he showed up big on Mirage. Might have a chance again here to deliver a stunning series.
Another smoke in the eye is going to stall them further yet. Bit of an oblivious play for Liquid, staring into that very real possibility of a 2-1 scoreline. X7 finds Nafly, drills him on the approach. Now Stewie from the back could very well get a couple kills in. Does get both X7 and Lexi. No one watching construction. That's going to be a bomb plant more than likely.
They had no idea he snuck by again. Stewie, such an uncanny ability to turn rounds into his favor. And now a 2-on-3, still going to be desperate, still going to be difficult. Twist only has the CZ, but Stewie to hold off initially with the AUG.
This kill could make or break the round. If Stewie can hold on with a solid amount of health behind him, this is doable. They're going to run out one by one. That is the worst case scenario for ENCE. You do not want to test Stewie. He will punish you, but the flashbang's not quite on point. And Alu and Aerial will hold on. They will get the retake in effect.
Yeah, Stewie did everything you could. 3 kills. They open up the bomb site, the plant as well. Economic damage, which is going to be nice for Team Liquid moving forward. Not able to convert. Yeah, that flashbang doesn't blind him whatsoever. Great trigger discipline, and obviously just an easy one on X7 who was already damaged. This was nice, and obviously the return follow-up. The one good thing about that second player staying back is it just applies so much pressure. Stewie can never turn around to help Twist. 2-1 in the op-out in Alu's hands, and the double-op setup on Mirage was brutal, and we've seen it have so much impact on the CT side here of Inferno. If that comes out for ENCE, it'll be really interesting to see if Liquid can actually manage it, because they couldn't on Mirage.
Bit of flirtation in middle. Alu's not going to bite down on that though. Especially against pistols, could be walking into a trap. Just 2 flashes to play with for Liquid, so they're going to pretty much go ahead right now into the after LCB. X7's there again. MP9, double spray. More of the same. Liquid being fended off, and a mid-air X7 with the MP9 will pick up a 3rd. Money in the bank for ENCE.
1-3, Liquid gonna bring out AK-47s, all the utility as well they could possibly want. What a shocking turn of events, not only losing the first map, but then winning the pistol and being responded. Liquid just repeatedly getting punched in the face, and they have not responded well to this kind of resistance from ENCE. Stewie at the base of Banana, but not going to make any presence known. So many players in alt mid coming up. There's the wait, the patience, the shot from Alu. Alish goes down. Sergey here to defend it. Gives up his position, but he's got one. Important trade for Twist. And Aerial lets him know that he's in mid as well.
The bomb also out in the open, so Aerial knows they're going to have to come and retrieve them. Twist threads the eye of the needle though. Finds Aerial. Takes some of the pressure away from the A side. Now they can capitalize on that, smoking Alexi B out. The bomb should be getting planted momentarily on default. Does open business up on app side. Pit in such a dangerous position to retake from now.
They're going to have to be very patient though. X7 is on such a huge flank because he has to close the gap with his SMG, and I don't even know if he can afford to walk this long. Bomb Timer is about to reach the halfway point. I think they might be setting up to get some exit kills to take all the guns away for Liquid even in a victory. Now he's close, but the rifles aren't going to do anything. X7 searching for Stewie. Here's these footsteps. Alu's in mid as well. There goes Twist. Naf's got to be careful. All of a sudden, they're going to go for this. They're close enough now, and they've done it. Liquid just have no clue what's happening on the map, and they are not comfortable. And ENCE is going to get their 4th. Some kind of a miraculous retake. I don't even think they wanted to go for it, but they seized the moment when it's presented to them.
Yeah, as soon as X7 gets that kill on Apps and Alu finds Stewie 2K, it's done.
I think X7 must have said, Stewie's running away already. They don't think we're going for this, and he's so advanced. A free kill. And we are witnessing a huge collapse of one of the best teams in the world in these quarterfinals. The pressure getting to them way more than it is to the rookies.
Absolutely. If you knew nothing about Counter-Strike coming into this, you'd assume that ENCE were the veterans. You'd assume they were the 2nd best team in the world. Liquid have looked utterly out of their depth.
Which is just absolutely crazy. I mean, it's so crazy because you want to talk about the positives. You like the play that Twist makes, getting up mid, be the aggressor in lane, even with the bomb, finding a kill and just getting essentially a free plant because there was no one in pit, no one in the bomb site. but just the sheer miscommunication and collapse on holding the bomb plant. When your back's against the wall in the major playoffs is disgusting.
Right, am I missing something here? Alexi B only has a P250 and $6,000.
They might be thinking that Liquid is not going to be buying in this round and he's just saving something, or I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Maybe he forgot to buy. Yeah. We'll see. It could be a bit of a punish. A split towards this B bomb site. Here we go. Can Alu get in position? They could go right at the pistol. Alu's caught. The shot. Elise surely gets this. Alu almost gets the follow-up shot, which would have been insanity. Now an angle deep into this A bomb site for over a minute. And the whole map is available to Team Liquid.
Absolutely, and Alexi B, who was playing the sweeper role around CT spawn, couldn't really afford to go back in with just a P250 to his name. So now all the pressure is on both Ariel, who's just been destroyed, dismantled by Elite, and Sergey, who finds himself the headshot, but there's too many angles for him to watch out for.
Alexi coming over to it, pick up that AWP, not risking a weapon with just the pistol, and he's just gonna back away. The armor, the kit, the Molotov, it's all valuable, even though he has, what, $6,200 in the bank. Second round for Team Liquid. Nice shots from Elige, opening up the bomb site very nicely with that kill in the pit.
Well, Liquid finally will double their tally. As far as they're concerned, it came around too late, but ENCE, like they're going to be able to hold on to the AK-47 at the very least. Do at least bounce back, but again, I'm not completely sold on this T side. I'm more effervescent side of Liquid. It's been super flat so far.
And interestingly enough, I mean, not buying a weapon, only having the P250 might actually help them be able to manage that kind of a loss in terms of their money. He can drop a weapon over. He's pretty rich. I mean, so is a couple players on ENCE, so they weren't exactly knocking on the door of having nothing to work with, of being reset. 4-2. Liquid trying to come back in this map, in this series. It's a 1-0 lead for ENCE, on the verge of eliminating the second best team in the world. Banana control coming in. Flashbang is going to really isolate X7, but he never turns the corner.
X7 get pushed by Stewie. There's Stewie through the flames, going to get caught by Alexi B. Excellent passage of play for the Finnish squad. With Stewie down, it really does take away a lot of their fragging power here from Liquid. On the CT side of Mirage, he was only really one of the main players that were standing tall. They could look to try and make some moves through mid instead, but ENCE have given this up. They're playing more of a passive defense. Ariel and Pit, they've got Alu over on Arch. And then once again, Sergey slap bang in the middle of A site. The nade count's starting to deplete as well here, Moses. Running a bit dry.
All they have is really one hit left. They're going to smoke off Alu, make it look like a B split, which, remember, they did on the pistol round. Remember, they just did previously on the rifle round to get their second. The 2 rounds they've won have been those splits, so they want Alu to be nervous, and he's way more dedicated towards CT spawn. He's gone all the way through library. So a chance here for Liquid. 23 seconds left, and the hit hasn't come in yet. 2 Molotovs, that 1 smoke on Elige. That's just getting thrown out now. And here we go. That's going to be in the face of the site. Sergey still hiding in the corner. The spray comes through from Ariel. So much damage done. There is no entrance to Liquid until just now. There's time. Twist hits some stunner, and it cracks open. Just the last second.
Hanging on by a thread, but they climb their way back up. However, can ENCE shut the door in the face of Liquid? It will be another devastating loss. Naf just down to 2. They don't have any HEs, though, to play with, and he's got an AWP, so he can still pivot off and give Liquid a chance.
It's all Twist and Pit. He's got everything to do.
They try and hold the line with the AK-47. Time is dwindling. They're going to have to get a move on. Naf has gone down. Now can Twist strike twice? He's given his position away. That surely should be the end of the round. And X7 with the AK-47 is going to come out clutch.
What a big brain play. Alexi on the retake, just spamming through the wall. Naf was so low, and he doesn't even get a chance to fight for that. And seemingly with every single answer, and you just have to ask, we can't truly be memeing how easy this is for them into existence.
We've just had so many rounds where Liquid honestly probably should have won. You know, they should have been able to convert, connect the dots, but it's always just been a footstep away. On the other side of it, though, they could say to themselves, look, at another day we've actually been 5-2 in the lead here. So don't get too carried away just yet. That certainly is a nuclear warhead landing on Stewie. He's down to 47 now. And remember, he was the player that died first in the previous round.
He tried to turn that corner at the half wall. Two players waiting behind the Molotov. He thought he had one dead to rights. That is a lot of damage, but I don't think it can be too frustrating if you're Stewie. Just if you're going to be that player on the T side who takes banana control, you're just going to have to resign yourself to the fact that every once in a while, you're going to get hit by a lot of nades. Banana controls is theirs though, without a whole lot of a fight. We might just see them walk up and have a set piece here. Flashbangs out, Alexi's going to drop the Molotov, and even blind, X7 adjusts perfectly. The Molotov prevents any of the trades from coming in, so it's going to have to be like around the corner. Twist has one, but X7 with the AUG can't get anything more with it. It's a 3-on-3.
Oh, that was flicked across the NAF though. The advantage in favor of the Finns, and Alu wasn't far off on landing onto Elige either. There is a slight gap in the smoke. Elige going to take this opportunity to move across to the other side of the stands. Could catch them off guard. Couple flashbangs though, detonate in his eyes. After turn tail and wait a couple more seconds. Alu was waiting for that peek from Banana. Nitro's been spotted, but Elige going to hold down with the SG. He's found one headshot, but no second. Would have burnt alive anyway. And now Nitro, who gave his position away previously, has to make a move through the Molotov. It was a bit too deep. Alu lands the frag. It's going to be very close. He's going to hold on to this defuse. It could be a matter of milliseconds away. And Liquid are going to get the round. How close was that, though?
Oh, Nitro, that swing before the Molotov really spreads out, just trying to get the extra second, the extra jump on that, and Alu can't connect the shot. Liquid is having to work so hard for these rounds. They might get a little bit of a reprieve here. The money is low on ENCE. It's low on Liquid as well, fair play. Ariel's going to be on a UMP, X7 on a Deagle with the double up now. Two AWPs come out, and this is what shut Liquid down towards the later stages of Mirage of that opening map, and it's going to start him off well here. Alu going for the follow-up, but he's got it! Catches Liquid completely off guard.
Pardon the phrase, but that is incredibly ballsy from Alu down middle. With the op, doubling up, able to escape, doesn't even lose a single point of damage. Unbelievable. Ariel's going to get tagged, but he's fine. On just holding position. Ali's now making a move around the veteran. Peeking in again, you can see that he's so confident in his gameplay right now. Holding the close angle, flashbang could neutralize him though, and has just came over. He's going to miss the shot, but does have some backup in the form of Pit, which is Ariel, but it is actually only a UMP, not really tailor-made for this sort of a range.
It doesn't even necessarily matter. When you have the two AWPs, if you're the guy with the UMP and the Deagle, you make sure those officers are always the ones taking contact. You want them every single time to be the first point. What is this decision for Liquid? They've had so much success getting in towards spawn in a lot of these rounds. And this is interesting. No one has eyes on it for ENCE. Despite the fact that Liquid has showed that they want to do this, that they like doing this, and they have success doing this. There's the Deagle. It's down immediately. Now the game is up. Alexi knows what's coming, an AWP, and where does he position himself? Liquid have to know there's a second player here. Not a lot of utility. Oh, the missed shot. That might just seal it. Nade's going to start ringing over. He's got 4 HP, and he falls back. At least he stays alive. But ENCE, two men coming from CT spawn. It's the two ops. They're just going to have to keep these players pinned down for the two players coming up banana. It's Ariel and Sergey who have to be the aggressors on the retake.
Yeah, there's no grenades either. They'd love to throw into one of these angles. Oh, Stewie uncharacteristically comes out second best in the trade, and it's down to Twists again. They know exactly where he is. He's got out the headshot. The re-peek from Twists was sumptuous, and he is going to get the round for Liquid. Another super close one, though. But that is ENCE broken.
Well, we finally, we mentioned it on Mirage, Stewie was incredible, but who else was going to step up and be able to provide something? Now you're starting to see these individuals for Team Liquid. Twist, a great 1 versus 3, and a really, really tough hold in this round for Liquid, but they've finally done it. They finally stretched and grinded enough. They get an easier time of things, although remember, they did lose one of these rounds, one of these pistol rounds in the second after winning their own pistol. This time it's not deagles and armor and utility. There's no smokes on the inside of things to delay the hits and the choke points.
Yeah, they're banking more on Liquid, making some mistakes and just pushing a bit too aggressively, overextending a player or two. P250. That is the name of the game for the Finns. Going to smoke on to CT, going to be on Coffins as well. This is where ENCE going to be starry-eyed, thinking, hold on a second, maybe they are going to push in after all. It is just the UMP in first, it's the expendable of the weapons. They've got a Mach 10 in there too. If these fall down, no big deal. Molotov, to drop positions, here comes the three. Leech is going to get 2, but not a third. X7 will shut him down, and this is where the house of cards will crumble for ENCE. Liquid do pick it up just at the cost of a UMP.
Really good jump around from Elise, checking that boost as well, also spotting 2 players. That had to have been the dead giveaway that bomb site was stacked. Stewie's going to clean it up with that Galil. All tied, and the AWP, which was such an impactful weapon, is just barely in the reach of Alu. He had exactly 4750. He's got nothing behind it. But we saw, I mean, he gave him such a massive advantage that they even end up losing in that round, but he gave them a 5-on-3 with 2 opening picks. You can understand why he goes back to it even without nades and armor. Peering over the top, this might spell his doom. He's got Enter in the corner, he's found the entry. Do they want to push the issue? A missed shot from Alu in the armor. The lack of armor means that Mach 10 is unforgiving. Alexi B holding the angle. They're fine sacrificing 1 player on the cross without a smoke. They won't lose a second. Liquid in complete control of this round, and now they're starting to build some confidence to take those fast-paced, aggressive calls out of spawn.
Yeah, this is going to be 4 rounds in a row now, so at one point was 5-2. And with Liquid on the brink, and indeed they will convert this round, ENCE have no interest in going for it. 6 rounds already in the T-half is actually very solid. Sure, Liquid, they haven't looked great, they haven't looked at their best, but they're still getting rounds where it counts.
Yeah, we'd like to talk about those, especially considering how difficult certain halves are on certain maps. But I mean, when you're in the major, when you're facing elimination, nothing is going to feel comfortable to you. When you're in these quarterfinals, when your Team Liquid down 1 map as one of the favorites of this whole event, doesn't matter if you get 10, 11 rounds on your T side of Inferno, you're never going to be happy enough until you win the map.
So, Sergey and Aerial do survive. It gives them some options. They could both drop. It wouldn't be great, though. They're in a bit of a sticky situation here, the Finns. Hence the timeout. They're going to really deliberate over this, figure out exactly what's going to come up. Sergey and Aerial could drop UMPs for masses, something like that if they do want to go for this, but they know that if they go for this force and it backfires, then Liquid are going to have a fantastic half ahead of them.
We saw them with a kind of a buy and a Mirage as well that we mentioned we'd like to see them save 1 more, and they ended up, I think, taking that round. So obviously, with the force buy win in the second round, they obviously have some setups for those low economy situations. This one might be tough, though. Sergey and Aerial could drop the FAMAS, still have some utility to play with. They could drop UMPs, obviously, so there's a chance here that ENCE buys up into this, but they will be missing that AWP that's been effective for them. And it looks like they're just going to drop some upgraded pistols over to their teammates. CZ on Alu, Deagle on X7. Small investment from the ENCE side.
Playing for the bigger picture rather than the here and now. Can respect that. They still have plenty of firepower too, Moses, to stick Liquid. They can't write ENCE off just yet. They're going to take the aggression though. Aerial going in first, gets 1, gets 2! Nitro and Twists, both completely caught out in the open. The perfect start.
They had the perfect setup to counter that play, or at least guarantee a 1-for-1, or what I thought would be a guarantee. What a transfer from Aerial. That was so quick. I don't know, maybe Nitro, the in-game leader, is trying to organize something, trying to call a strategy, make sure players are doing the right thing, and just a little slow to react to the situation. But now they're in a hole. They've won a 3-on-5 before, but you don't get those often. Alu's going to go down. even though Sergey tries to put out the flames. Liquid don't lose any health for that, and now they're just going to march to this A bomb site. But this is where the two weapons are. Aerial inside the site behind the boxes. Sergey's out in the open. His transfer doesn't work. 2-on-2, and I think with pistols and some of the damage done with this round within their grasp with salvaging the M4, I think ENCE goes for this, Vince.
If they do, they're going to have to get a move on, though. They don't have kits. They've only got the one smoke, so they're going to try and boost over. I think that would have made some noise. I'm not sure if Liquid would have heard it, though. Maybe a bit too far away. Nafly still posted on the side to get found, but Naf counteracts with 2 op shots. Nice try for ENCE in particular. Aerial did so much work, but Liquid will pick up a 7-5 lead.
So they survive losing 2 players in the first 20 seconds of the round to Aerial pushing halls. They win that round. Earlier, we had Alu with the AWP picking down mid and then picking one off in ult mid, and another 3-on-5 victory for Team Liquid. And if you all of a sudden go back to Mirage as well with the heroics that Stewie had at that A bomb site, Liquid, they have some individual efforts that are keeping them in these games, and certainly in this one, they'd stay in it, but it's given them a lead.
Hasn't been the most consistent fragger, but it seems to come up when it really counts. Ridiculous clutch in the first round. 2 kills there. There's a leash though. Get the first couple of kills. Beautiful start, going to open up B.
Maybe those B defenders overconfident off the basis of some of their victories in that part of the map earlier. Twist wants another go in holes, and he's going to win that one. It's Sergey. I wonder if Aerial had mentioned that they pushed holes. Sergey goes right back forward. I mean, a 3-on-5 for the CTs. You have to try and go find some information. The fact they happen so early, Twist can be patient. So can the rest of Liquid. ENCE going to try and consolidate this defense. Alu giving up the B bomb site, gambling at A, and he's on the hustle now. Stewie's going to be there to push through the smoke if needed. And for Alu, and Nitro just shuts him down. That was brutal. Nitro just swatted him aside like it was nothing.
Here's the 2 opening picks from Elysian Banana. Blinking, you'd have missed it at the end. Carnage on the A side, and Liquid now with a comfortable 8-5 lead with ENCE on pistols. Confidence beginning to build. You can see a very tentative Liquid for that first map. And to be honest, the first few rounds of this one too.
They might have, I mean, as silly as it sounds, they might have been shocked by how much resistance ENCE was putting up early on in that Mirage game. How much they were fighting and trading some of those rounds back and forth. Looking much better here on Inferno for Team Liquid starting on the offense. Liege applying a lot more pressure. This time, I mean, the change that we see is instead of Mirage, Liquid was never being the aggressor. Like, they were getting map control and they were setting things up, but they were never the ones pressing the envelope and dictating when the action began. Here on Inferno, they're doing a phenomenal job of that everywhere across the map.
And starting to get constricted quite a bit. They can't go for those early peaks quite as often. So Aerial get a lot of success just a couple of rounds ago. But since then, it has been one-way traffic. The 4-player stack on A for ENCE may not be pressed. Liquid start to make a move back. No, they're actually going to be joining in once again. Once this smoke clears, Alexi B may go for the peak. The CZ at this range can be an absolute test. It goes straight through heads. Multiple faces. Stewie 2K. Once again, it's a talisman for Liquid. CZ comes up, but it's just too little too late. Aerial, not going to happen for him. Way too many players to contend with.
It's so important with all those crossfires that could have been set up with those CZs that you get those first kills. Stewie's not going to find the last one. I think he just realized it a moment too late. And I almost feel that they could be aggressive here and try and make sure that X7 can't keep this AK-47. Investment in the next round no matter what. X7's going to take that fight. An awkward spray. And 9-5 for Team Liquid. Which has been a great recovery when you consider they win the pistol and lose the second round, and they lose that really awkward 3 versus 3 that was just like this retake that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, this is now 7 rounds in a row. for Liquid. So they have started to post up a very real T-half. ENCE, as you touched on, will have a buy. Alu again with the AWP. And keep in mind that he was pulling off some pretty sick plays down mid, very aggressive. Actually slowed down somewhat. Here comes a peek again, and Legion not able to get two. Actually, he does. The Molotov finishes off what he starts onto Sergey. And again, B site has been ripped to shreds.
Even with a third player there, Alu's going to miss his chance down mid to kind of thin out this attack. Alexi will be stuck here. And again, Liquid realized the situation. 2 kills towards B. They pull the player over, and they can just pause. Minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. They know that sole B defender, if they just apply the littlest of pressure onto him without committing to a fight, they'd force him to use whatever nades he has left. And he has nothing already. He's even considering cheating over towards A. He's got to play it passive in case he wants to rotate in, at least so he can hold this position of the map for his teammates to get a retake on, which is going to give a free plan over unless he gets lucky spamming through the smokes. That's kind of what he's hoping for here. Alexi going to rotate back around. Here comes the spray. And any moment for the flashbang. Now he's through. Stewie realizes it. Can't find the kill. Even it out into a 3-on-3.
Won't be able to deny the bomb plant, but has thinned it out a little bit. No grenades other than a smoke to play with on either side.
Smoke will be for the bomb when Aerial eventually does get here. The bomb or banana?
Here's the player making a move from CT. Last round of the half, can Liquid get to double digits? Judging from their positioning, it's looking pretty good. Alexi being 21, they're going to have to start to make a move sooner rather than later, and Alexi's the first to fall. Should be more of the same now. Naf around. Alu just around the corner. Will be protruding around there, but Nitro able to get him in the backside. And Liquid will pick up a 10-5 lead.
And that's the Liquid we wanted to see, showing some fortitude when things got rough early on in this half, and they close it out with an 8-0 run. That is a brilliant offense on Inferno. 10-5 in Liquid's favor, and they go over to defense. We'll see if they can bring us to map 3 when we come back for the break. And we're back. Second quarterfinal of the day. Team Liquid taking on ENCE, and they had a great first half, responding admirably to the pressure applied to their one-map deficit in this series, to facing elimination. Elige leading the way, 17-10. Some of the youngsters have come in. Twists and Naf have been so impressive. Elige has been a constant as one of the best NA players we've ever produced, and he's delivering here for Team Liquid.
Yeah, absolutely no doubt. Liquid, it was a rocky start, I think it's safe to say, but now they've certainly steadied things somewhat. ENCE could certainly put a wrench in the works, though, if they were to pick up this pistol. They'll put Liquid straight on the back foot once again. Plenty of utility, couple smokes, HE, couple flashbangs.
Ooh, the dualies on Nitro. I love that. Close up as well. Stewie's going to be there for some bait. Oh my god. Just a straight disrespectful shot to Alu's face. And now Nitro might get involved. So close to turning this corner. He wants to dualies into the action, and he's not going to get it either. But there they are, trading kills back and forth. Two players to defend A.
Elige was thinking about scurrying across to A, but now that there's been no more presence shown from ENCE, he can lock into position. They can get a crossfire set up fully. His teammates hanging off the back of balcony, but Elige needs some backup right now. Twists going to do a lot of damage on his way down, but it's going to fall all the same, leaving Stewie in a 1-on-2. He started things off with a right one tap, but that's going to be ENCE. They picked up the second pistol.
Twist got so blinded by a flashbang, which is why that crossfire on balcony at sight never really had any impact. A nice response from ENCE to get that pistol. If Liquid were to get that, it might have just stretched too far away from them, but there's still danger in this next round. Liquid buying up, as you can see on the screen. Deagle, CZ coming out. Utility as well. ENCE had this exact play that netted them the second round of the previous half. Liquid merely trying to return the favor, although I think Stewie just got a little bit of a knife coming out of spawn from a teammate.
Love tap. That does put him in range of the UMPs now, actually. He was in range anyway, pardon me. Didn't have head armor. Certainly going to stick with potential players his way, regardless. This is ENCE's chance now. They're golden ticket. Inferno. The flashbang is spot on, but the follow-up damage not quite there. Elige is going to be found lacking. Aerial, though, did eat a bunch of damage on his Endeavor. So nades put into place, just going to stall this push, but ENCE have plenty of time. They're okay with this. It's going to draw over a third player from Liquid in the form of Nitro. Going to join his brothers on B. This puts Twists with his back on the wall, though. He's the last line of defense on A, and he's going to start to move backwards. This Molotov's going to keep him interested, but there's really nothing he can do about stopping this.
No, and that's why you see Liquid just having three players over at B at the moment. They're just saying, if you come to the B bomb site, we all have a chance. If not, fair play, we get to take these into the next round and fight again. They won't have the utility. You won't see them reinvest into the smokes. But nice job for ENCE to avoid the danger. Plant's going to go down, and this round will just kind of wind away. So it'll be 7-10 as ENCE will start climbing back into the map. But this is the more difficult side to manage, despite the fact that we just saw Liquid just run up the score in a massive way. The real test for ENCE will come when Liquid have their rifles, when they have the Molotovs and the nades to throw into the choke points, when they can actually fight for banana control.
Certainly things are going to stack up in difficulty once Liquid can get their hands on the AWPs and plenty of grenades to play with. But in terms of this round, how is it detonate? And Liquid will hold on to their guns and armors, and also take away some of that farming potential from the UMPs of ENCE. But 10-7, as you called, Jason, is upon us, and Liquid, well, they're not going to have another buy coming in just yet.
No, they've got to sit one more out, talk some things over. Everyone gets centered. Nitro has 4,100, so he saved everything so that he can have an AWP, I would imagine, in that first round. Well above his teammates in terms of economy. Just a couple flashbangs picked up. Stewie fortunate not to take too much damage, and then he's going to run into the Molotov. Wants to take a surprising fight. Ariel's going to give him a couple health taps as he stands in the flames. Actually, some decent damage done, but the kills just are not landing for Liquid, and Aerial knows Elige is pressing the issue. Down to 42. There's the nade. Elige gets it, which has got to maybe satisfy his obvious bloodthirst and maybe a little bit of pride.
Quench that thirst somewhat, but it's not going to do anything in terms of how this round comes down. Still firmly in ENCE's favor. A Desert Eagle for NAF. That is it. Also want to hold over and just make sure that none of Liquid come and retrieve the gun that was dropped at second mid. And it's going to take their sweet time to just make sure all these angles are covered on their approach to B. But these were the win conditions. That second pistol had to go the way of ENCE. They had to navigate their way through the next subsequent rounds. They've done just that. But it's all about this next one. It's going to be a rifle round. So much on the line.
The crazy thing about that first half for Team Liquid is that winning 8 straight at the end, like, you're not even really constantly resetting your opponent's economy. They have a losing bonus for quite some time, for 3 rounds at the end, like the max losing bonus. So Liquid had to do it the hard way. If ENCE is able to maybe not go on a streak in that, ooh.
What was uncalled for, Nitro?
A lot of vegetarians here in Katowice.
UMP has been taken by NAF. Nitro switched across to the P250. So they're at least going to take an SMG out of this round. Perhaps not. Nice spray from Alu. Does deny the UMP. Of course, they'd have had an M4 and AUG anyway. Not a huge deal for Liquid.
Yes, they're not too upset about that at all. In fact, they've probably already forgotten about it. 4 AUGs and AWP on Nitro. He's going to have to pick up the kit as well, but he's not going to. So they're going to play around with no kits whatsoever on a map where retakes can have so much impact on the game. Liquid are going to be slightly handicapped if that scenario comes up. Nitro's going to bring that up over towards the A bomb site. Might choose to get aggressive in halls. Him and Twist both doing a Twist to line up along that left wall, trying to catch him off guard. They know they love to take control here. Elige almost walks into the crossroad, wins that battle. X7 gets away with his life, and Elige is delivering on all fronts. He's got the opening and the follow-up. Now in towards halls. X7 not expecting it. Elige is here in the quarterfinals, and he is delivering for Team Liquid. They're going to be up 11-8. This is such a huge deficit in this round. It would be massive if Sergey and Alex are able to turn this in their favor.
Really, their mission at this stage is just to inflict as much damage as possible. A 5-on-2, they've been found. For all they know, Liquid have actually pushed down Banana already and have some kind of map control. They may feel pressured to push forward here.
There's so many nades that Liquid can use to stall this out. Sergey, as the smoke clears, just crossing his fingers for a mistake, and he might have it. Ooh, he missed the timing on it, but the opportunity was there. He knows Elige wants this fight, and it's probably the best chance he has to find a kill. But Elige is just annoyingly not re-peeking into the angle.
That smoke doesn't do many favors for Sergey, and Alexi caught by NAF. Sergey comes ripping out of the smoke, and Elige picks up a 4K. Exquisite work on the A side of the map.
Oh, just as the smoke plumes, Alu might be a bit frustrated with that one, and Aerial maybe trying to catch him off guard, tries to surprise. 11-8. Still money for ENCE, though. Remember, they didn't take, barely any damage in those 2 rounds after winning the pistol, so they built up a lot of cash, which is going to be chewed into by Alu picking up his AWP. Him and X7 down to 100 left behind this buy.
Tables beginning to turn on the Finns. Their turn to feel the pressure. In recent rounds, Liquid have been getting a lot of the opening picks. Abruptly switching gears. Elige has been at the spearhead of that attack. He's on 23 and 13, but here comes Sergey, looking to make a move up Banana. Getting a lot of real estate for the time being, but Liquid positioned at the backside have plenty of grenades still to stall.
Yeah, Sui just holding a Molotov in his hand. As soon as Nap makes contact, he'll drop that to make sure nothing can come from it. Trying to do some nade and chip damage. Stewie going to time it with that Molotov kind of slowing down. Dumping all of his utility to delay, discord, or make any attack that ENCE is setting up. Just not have any kind of coordination whatsoever. Aerial and Alexi going to start working their way up mid. Alu's joining them, but still that AWP hasn't been able to get involved. It's tough to make work, and a boost around the edge of the smoke. This could be a free kill for Elige if they don't expect it.
A bit of noise though, dropping down, was looking for information, gathered a little bit, 30 seconds coming up. ENCE have got to push behind this. There's so many smokes though, they'll have to choke on the approach. And Elige comes out and finds himself two. What a play again.
Yeah, but there's still, Twist is still all alone. Chad said it was creeping on an island, and it feels so lonely. There's Naf and Nitro finally getting into the site, and Twist holds on just long enough. The flashbang doesn't work long enough. We're going to give props, and the highlight clip will show Elige, but Twist throws a badass flashbang. Blinds both of those players on Rap side. They have no chance of taking that fight, not expecting Elige to come through that smoke.
This is an Elige that is the thing of nightmares. Spins across for the second. And the rest was just a formality at that stage. Liquid open up a 4-round lead. ENCE don't really have anything to work with in terms of money. It's only Alexi B that has 4K.
Well, the tough part about that is they have the op on Alu. So they might be really tempted to invest whatever they can around that. See Alu looking back at the coach. Alexi can get the AK, Ariel can get a Galil, Sergey and X7 can get utility with pistols, so they could bring some things to fight with in this next round, but at 8-12, you're really hanging maybe your chances of coming back in this map on that by working. You can understand why there would be a timeout. Round 21 coming up. ENCE is not going to dip into the coffers and make that investment, not at this stage. Might want to expect a slower paced round, as Alu, with the only real weapon to get any kind of a pick, they might just sit back behind these nades, behind these smokes that are going to be up in the choke points and the Molotovs, and just wait for them to dissipate so that Alu can have a clear line of sight.
So much hinges off Alu's play here, though. He's had a lot of success on the CT side, but the T side is a whole different ball game altogether. You've got to carve the plays. You've got to make plays out of nothing. Just a flashbang to Alexi B's name. He's the first player to have a quick peek, though. Over on logs, can't see anything just yet. They'll have it in the back of their minds that the round prior that they were tossing Molotovs over the top around this time in the round, so they're going to have to get a grasp over Banana and make sure they don't yield it. But it's all a ploy. It's all a bit of interference because they're now starting to stack on mid. This is where Alu could shine. And have a meat shield of players just ahead of him to absorb as many bullets as possible.
Nitro just... This is a little bit scary. Actually, they're going to get right by his crosser. That's the bomb down, though. They've got to go back for it, so it's going to give Nitro another chance, but the Deagle ends him. That's a second AWP picked up now. They would probably love to have an AK or an AUG or an M4 or anything but the AWPs. But now Elige and Twist are stuck in pit.
No grenades again, though, so they're going to have to make a move past no man's land. Completely vulnerable, completely bare. And time itself becoming an enemy. Nefarious intentions Liquid have in apps and pits. Oh, the peak is going to go the way of Alu, though. Leaving Twist with it all to do on his lonesome. He's not able to stop the bomb, but has finalized the frags onto Alu and Sergey and looks for another one. But Alexi B in for a 1-on-3 clutch, and they're both going to be coming from mid. Is this doable? Looking less likely as he's been tagged, and with that wing damage has to pull back. At least has his hand on the AWP. We know he can use this gun, but he's put it right between the two of them. And Stewie 2K is going to punish ENCE and put up a 13th round on the board.
That was so dangerous, and a fair play. Twist again, another heroic effort. He just says, get the bomb planted. I don't care about the bomb planter whatsoever. I'm not going to try and overextend to stop that. He just needed to stop the bleeding and give them a chance to win, which he did. These are great shots, and those AWPs, I mean, I mentioned they would rather have an M4, an AK, or some kind of a rifle, but those AWPs when you're attacking pit are perfect. They just pinned Elige down as soon as he goes to stop them from getting into the bomb site. That AWP is waiting for the exact peak. There he is. There's the Liquid fan. 13-8, Team Liquid seem to have grabbed a very powerful lead in this game. What can ENCE do to stop it?
Sergey waiting for a flashbang to detonate so he can go for that peak, but nothing's coming up just yet from his teammates. They have plenty of utility. A couple of flashes for X7. Could come down to timing. Shadow is going to betray Stewie 2K. Goes in far too aggressively.
Far too aggressively without clearing that corner. Just assuming that the nade work and the Molotovs did the damage they needed. Aggressive. He's been great with these pop flashes. Needs that kill. Transfers over. Aerial's down low. But he still maintains a one-man lead in the round for ENCE. It's Nitro and Twist to defend A, although Twist is starting to get a little bit antsy. He has to check over towards Rap side. Nitro with the op might have an opportunity to bring it into a 3-3. Aerial waiting so patiently in Boiler, but there it is. Nice shot from Nitro.
We could get sideswiped from Nav, and that's exactly what happens. Makes this into a one-dimensional takedown for ENCE. They're breathing down the necks of Liquid, but Liquid have iron resolve. Extend to a 6-round lead now.
And remember as well, if you go back to the first map, Mirage, the retakes that Liquid had were so good. They obviously have a lot of faith in their ability to retake a bomb site. That's what allows NAF the confidence to come over towards A, help them stop any pressure there, leave the B bomb site alone, saying if they go there, we can either save depending on the scenario, or we're very good at retaking it. And he just gets there in time to prevent Alu from having any impact. The coach we heard in the pregame interview about Inferno just said you'll have to wait and see. Down the stretch, ENCE not putting up much of a fight. It's been early success for ENCE in each half. They had a 4-1 lead on their CT side. They win the first 3 of the second half, but it's been all Liquid outside of those stretches.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that we're still waiting here, Moses, to see what ENCE have in store. In terms of this round, it's going to be a lack of firepower, extra grenades. Aggression pushing into the arms of Stewie, runs out of bullets and health. Still 2 players there.
He's fine being that aggressive, although that might be too much with Naf with the follow-up into the flames as well. Stewie was fine with it because he had 2 teammates with him. Now, this is a very awkward situation. It's Nitro all on his own.
I haven't sent another player over. Alicia's been tagged down to 46. He's the player on Arches. So double stacking mid. Do they go for the peak? They actually try and get round the back of the terrorist here. It's looking like they do. This is such an aggressive, brave play. Is it going to yield any rewards? Maybe Nitro doesn't need help after all, but Alexi finds the headshot. Bomb will get planted. They're not plays down Banana. Surely not. X7's going to be able to get 1 though. Vital information gathered in the process. Twist has the HP advantage, but doesn't know exactly where Alexi B is. That grenade is going to chip him down to 20, and a Molotov behind it. That could be all she wrote for this round. Alexi has to turn tail and run away. Twist can smoke and get the defuse in amongst this. It could force Alexi B out into the open, but he is staying in position. He's calling the bluff. Twist gonna have to go back in again. Gonna hold down the defuse this time, but he's pushed up. This could really mess with Alexi B's spray, and it's gonna be defused in amongst the smoke, and Alexi dies afterwards. Liquid 7 map points now.
He said he might not know where he is, but he had a read on the situation. Nades coming right back in towards Coffin. HE, the Molotov to follow it up, and Alexi, fair play, does everything he can. That kind of a situation, 14 HP, you have to just kind of guess and say there's no way he sticks the bomb with this much time left in it. Tough scenario, but the smoke bailing Twist out. And you're exactly right. 7 chances for Liquid to close this out. Bring us on to map 3, bring us on to Dust 2, the most classic of Counter-Strike maps.
Being exchanged, and again, ENCE come out worse for wear. Alexi has lost 1/3 of his HP in the process. This time there's no 3-player stack. It is just going to be Stewie alongside Naf, but they've been doing a pretty good job of holding for the time being. It's again just feeling B, but they're going to be making moves on A. They've decided now is the time to strike. Molotov will force Elige out. They may have heard a little bit of tick of damage there.
They threw that just a little bit too early. Elige uses the last second of cover from that smoke to get out of the position, and he might just actually look like he was going to go right back into it and say, you already cleared the spot. Surely you won't do it again.
What is it with Nitro and killing chickens, man?
Maybe he's more of a beef guy? I don't know. Sergey and Alexei outside of this B-bomb site.
Looking to push. Now the smoke is subsiding.
There's no one actually looking at the contact. I don't know how Stewie found that timing, but he does brilliantly. He's playing anti-flash. Very fortunate.
Now Alexei B stuck between two players. He's just about to find out, but elsewhere on the map, X7 is finding entries. Legion Twist get reeled out of the round, and Alu finds Nitro in transition. With 8 seconds left, they're going to get the bomb planted. And Naf has a decision to make. Does he want to go for this? And the answer is no.
Yeah, don't. I mean, you have no more economy on the rest of your teammates. Save that AK-47. It's way too hard coming this far from the bomb site. So finally, ENCE by pressuring multiple points on the map. And you could see Liquid. You could see it on the minimap. Liquid was kind of starting to cheat towards that B bomb site to begin with. They really just kind of wanted to bite on a bomb site and just stack it up and have an easy win to close this map out. But slowly progressing on towards A, 2 players attacking the B site. And Liquid didn't know where to put their defense. Nice job by X7, the openings, the entries into that A site. Great on Mirage, especially on the defense. It's 19 and 16 leading the way for his team here again.
Oh, that is a hell of a shot onto Elige. And there's a second one on Twist. We didn't see it from his perspective. But it goes to show as well, you know, great work by X7. Even though they did a good job of keeping Liquid with question marks over their heads, still, you need to get those entries connecting, otherwise it still crumbles.
You particularly like the follow-up one, because no one is going to expect, I mean, that is kind of a, I don't want to say easily held angle, but the terrorists have a disadvantage in so many different ways, so you don't often have to take that fight in that fashion as a defender. Liquid fully invested into this round. A harsh reset would obviously not be ideal, but they have the rounds to play with to get their economy back up and running to still fight. 6 rounds left in this comeback for ENCE if they want to force overtime.
Would be a good place to start, though, as you say. If they can reset the economy, Liquid wouldn't be able to fully recover for another 2 or 3 rounds. Barring some saved weapons, of course. Elige has continued to steamroll. Moves on to 27 kills. Stewie left on B. A lone sentinel. May not be called off. As we saw previously, they like to feel this out and then go towards A and mid, but he did spot just a couple of pixels of Alu.
That light utility usage, you would imagine, is going to force this smoke out of Stewie, or excuse me, he already just used it, just placed it down. He held on to that as long as he possibly could, but the utility from the T side is just too much pressure for a sole defender. He's trying to funnel them over to the bombs, and it's working. Although Nitro, tough job to do, massive damage, but that's an awkward fight for an SMG. He backs away. Now they're exposed. Now 3 different angles where he peeks up where he can dive from, and he's not even going to get a chance to take a shot. Elige with 1, but Twist in the bomb site holds on at 7 now. The last one in. Doing great damage, but he's dinked, and Stewie all alone in a 1-on-2.
Yeah, very unfortunate just to have a USP. Wish he had anything else. Any other pistol on that headshot would have been a confirmed kill. But now Stewie, we know he's the smoke criminal. Decides against it though.
He tried to go through that before in the pistol round and they had it covered. No kit.
Time ticking away. Second smoke will be deployed.
And that's the sign. You can't do anything about that. Another hard-fought win for ENCE as they close the gap. They're up to double digits. It's 10 to 15. And again, it's X7 delivering 3 kills this time.
Yeah, this man deserves a medal. He's ripping through the entries here on Inferno. Up to 22 kills. Chunk of ADR. And he was the player on default. He did get dinked. It was kind of unfortunate for Elige. He had good aim, but didn't have the firepower to supplement the headshot. However, Liquid on the back foot. It's only going to be Stewie with any weapon to play with. There is a Desert Eagle for Elige, a P250 for Twist, but that is it.
At this stage in the game, you minimize your investments. If you're Team Liquid, you just get that. You try and have as many buys with rifles and full utilities you possibly can, so you really don't want to spend a whole lot on buying the extra pistols and the extra flashbangs and smokes in these rounds. Stewie's going to have to be very mobile. The only reason I believe Nitro jumped that smoke was for the B-bomb site. Oh, great damage from Stewie. Would have loved that kill. Actually, not as bad as I expected. That's a double nade. Nitro catches both.
Straight up carpet bombed on CT side, and with smokes behind it, not much that NAF can do. Into position on the CT. Stewie, though, could potentially get a kill if they try and boost up on the boxes, which is where he's currently looking towards.
Might as well save this gun if you're Stewie. Your team is going to need you to he's going to have to be the one to have a kit. Utility as well, if there's any kind of retake coming in, they need that. And they also want AK-47, so they found Aerial that's overexposed. Great management of his flank. Alu coming joining up is going to push away the danger.
That is vital weaponry that is not going to be on their hands. Keep in mind, it wasn't just the orb, it was Kevlar as well. That's a bunch of money that he's going to have to replenish now and spend in the next round.
And finally, ENCE fans have something to be happy about. 3 in a row, 11-15. And Liquid again, I mean, especially with Stewie, as you said, losing that AUG right at the end. They might want to save one more. They're right on the edge. This might just be a half investment from them. Pistols and light armor and some utility to stall things out. And just investing as that losing bonus builds. But what was once 7 rounds that Liquid had to close this map out is now just 4. And you've got to start feeling the pressure the deeper this comeback goes. ENCE making things happen right at the end. A chance still, a slight chance to knock Liquid right out of IEM Katowice in the quarterfinals if they can force this to overtime.
Four rounds shy of overtime on the Finnish side of things. There is going to be Mag 7 and pistols, as you say. It's going to be more of a half bite, just to give Liquid a real to use. Round 28. Early damage has gone the way of ENCE onto Elige.
And X7 heard that, which is why he uses the nade, why the spam comes in a bit more aggressively. So Elige and Twisters back away.
As they've dipped down into a half-buy, though, it means that they all have smokes to play with, so they can really stall this round for ENCE. They're going to have to be careful in how they manage their time here on the T side. There's the first on B. Have no Molotovs, but a few flashbangs in play too.
Naf is going to rotate over, at least for the moment. He doesn't deep smokes. Stewie still has one and a shotgun, so they can leave him alone at the deep bombs. They can stack here towards Hey, but Elige has just caught a little bit of damage. Every decision he's made has whittled them down further. To use that pillar for cover. When that smoke fades, he'll have nothing, and it doesn't even fade, and he still goes down. Naf and Nitro a stack on ramp side. They're going to have to give that up and be more centralized to the bomb side, but no one defending in pit. No chance for a crossfire.
20 seconds. These next couple kills could very well finalize this map if they go the way of the CTs. And Twist and his CZ come in massively. He can't get his hands on the AK enough. But Naf still laid in wait, gets caught by Sergey. Meticulous on the approach on A. Leaves no corner unchecked. And that's the round done. ENCE pick it up. Really important Sergey check there, because if he didn't and Naf picked up a kill, there was about 7 seconds left in the round.
I'm surprised with that much time that Naf didn't just take a peek. He was waiting for the bomb to go down. Hear the plant sounds. All right, Spodek, 12-15. Another chance for ENCE, but this will be the strongest buy they've encountered in some time. Liquid can close it out right here. Do you want a third map, Katowice? Mixed feelings across the board. Molotov's out, banana control for Team Liquid. That deep smoke is going to scare ENCE away for the moment. Great nades, though, deep down to Alu. That AWP on this D side, we've seen it before. It has not been effective in this half. Going back to it, perhaps a risk. Maybe he's discovered something he can exploit, but Sergey, at least, is going to be forced away from his aggressive stance. Solo, and oh, he still gets it! An awkward fight for Stewie to select.
And it's surprising with so many grenades being exchanged with the two teams that he actually goes for that peak. They had no control over Banana whatsoever. Sergey's low. I mean, the advantage is firmly in the hands of ENCE now.
Yeah, it really is. They don't have to apply any more pressure. They can just let this 4-5 be difficult. Some spam coming through. Nitro's standing his ground for the moment. He wants to find the equalizing kill, and he almost got it. Alexi is tagged to 37, but he's going to be happy with that result. Even with the loss of HP, he's at least forced Nitro deeper into the B bomb site. It'll make Liquid more nervous to keep 3 players at A the longer this round goes. You could see Naf cheating in spawn. He wants to be as close to the B bomb site while still defending A.
Yeah, they need to put the feelers out and get the early alarm bells ringing so the rotation can come into effect. But with smokes down, Nitro can't see anything. And now Naf has moved into a more stationary position. Gonna start to move back again. 20 seconds now. Nitro gonna get smoked out the corner. Got through elsewhere. Twist has done damage to it. 7 finishes the ball. Nitro alive. A couple seconds longer than anticipated. That's just enough time to take down Sergey. But a 3-on-3 retake. Alu pushed up close. Will Naf check it? No, he doesn't. ENCE in prime position to pull us 1 round closer. And the Legion Twists have a vast uphill climb against them. Would have to be a Herculean effort, and the Legion's been found. Twists, all that remains, has got 1. About half the time left on the bomb. Doesn't have a kit, doesn't have any life. And Liquid gonna have to save 2 more rounds.
They don't have 2 more rounds to save. They'll have to do a half buy here. The next round will be the final chance to avoid overtime. Liquid just crumbling under the pressure that ENCE is applying. The crowd wants overtime. The crowd wants ENCE to have another chance to eliminate Team Liquid. A 15-8 lead has dwindled to 15-13. But aggression. Oh, this could catch us up hard. Smoke is going to signify everything he needs to know. Oh, the barrage of nades. It does damage, but no kill.
No kill now. Liquid have to make a very quick rotation round just in case the B hit was incoming. Of course, we can see the ENCE. They're just sat back. Going to reserve it once more. On Liquid at this stage, they're going to have a lack of utility. They can't fend off the B hit forever if they decide to push this. Double nades, no one's home for Liquid though. That was behind the wall just to make sure that Stewie, who's been there quite a few times, isn't going to strike from close range. But speaking of Stewie, he has the mag 7, bit of unnecessary damage to Sergey. He's down to 61. Can the Desert Eagle and Mag 7 hold the line?
Standing too deep. Predicting an angle. Gets eliminated before he can take it. That's going to give ENCE cause to scratch their head and just take a breath. 30 seconds left in the round. They're going to stay in banana. They just want to check their flank. They have no presence on the other side of the map, so they don't want to go back into a chance. With the shotgun, he gets the first, but great trade from Sergey. So important he gets that. No chance for Nitro and Twist to go for the retake. You have to think that they're just going to save the armor. ENCE is going to be on 14. 6 in a row now for the Finnish side, and we go to round 30. We get the full map and a chance for more. Liquid, one more chance. You want to talk about ENCE catching Liquid completely off guard in this series. Such a huge favorite, Team Liquid is the 2nd best team in the world. Favorites in a lot of people's minds to make it to the grand final. Some even saying win the entire event. You'd think that a team with that kind of a pedigree, with how good they've been for over a year, would be able to close this out in one of their 7 chances. This is the last one they have.
have it. The confirmation that we are heading to the final round of regulation. I don't think that they've just caught Liquid off guard. I think they've caught every single team off guard with this performance. This is going to send shivers down the spine. And in terms of the last buy, Liquid going to be able to get a bunch of weaponry at their disposal. Do they go for orbs? I mean, you'd expect that they're going to go for at least one, maybe in the hands of Nitro.
They've wanted it in his hands, but it hasn't been super impactful, so they're not going to go that route. 5 AUGs being picked up. One last timeout. There's one remaining for Team Liquid, but one last timeout of regulation. You can see Adren talking, passing on information that he's seen as Liquid select the defensive setup they have the most faith in. One more chance to bring us to a third map, or else in overtime you're fighting for your tournament life.
With the momentum well and truly stacked against you, and how the last bunch of rounds have gone, a plethora of terrorists look to engage up Banana. Greeted by Molotovs, nades, flashes, taking a lot of damage in the process, but we've seen this happen before, and still have found the entries.
But at least, unlike the previous buy they had just 2 rounds ago, a round ago, Stewie doesn't get picked off, so they can go into the mid-round of this Inferno, of this final round of the map, with a 5-on-5. But that early pressure that ENCE, when they're able to get car that quickly, smoke is forced out of the defenders early just to delay things. And it is going to be a hit towards this B bomb site. ENCE have found their weak point. With X7 pressuring A, he's had success there. They want a hit here. And Stewie, a chance.
Rush into Molotov, he's going to start to burn alive. Can't get anything with the AUG, and although there's so much damage across the terrorists, they have the player advantage.
I think Stewie was distracted that Molotov was not put out as quickly as possible. Naf was all the way back in CT. Spawn, that needs to be a kill, and it is for Alu! A 5-on-3 now for ENCE, in overtime looking much more likely.
Can Naf dig deep into his pockets and pull out another miraculous clutch? Liquid desperately need it to take us to a third. There's the first. 2 players funneled into dark. Tries to go for the repeat, does damage, goes back in for seconds and lands. We're going to have to pick up 2 more. In 2 separate angles, not going to happen, and ENCE will come back into overtime.
We've come all the way back, 8-15, and ENCE find the recipe for victory. They rattle off 7 straight, and Liquid have to be stunned. The crowd on their feet, they're loving this display, this performance from the underdogs. And after this, it's not going to be too much longer that you can consider them underdogs. This is one hell of a performance. They have looked Liquid, they have made Liquid look uncoordinated, like they're miscommunicating during a lot of these steps. You have to say Elish really cooled off towards that 15A lead. I mean, he was up in the mid-20s of kills, and he's only been able to rattle off, what, 4 or 5 since then. Another opening kill for Alu, and the aggression doesn't pan out. Now Alicia's stuck in no man's land. He gets away, but again, back foot. Alicia gets over the peak. He's waiting for it. He's so close. There's the flashbang. Ariel must have that kill, and he's got it. Another one for Alu. An attempted coordinated pinch towards mid, and Liquid is brushed aside.
Stewie could get caught. Close battle of the AWPers. Alu finds Stewie, and Twist cannot hold. ENCE take the lead. This would have to go down as a monumental upset if ENCE pull this off.
Well, Liquid 15-16, and this is a must-win round. Overtime rules, you start with 10,000, you get 3 rounds per half. If Liquid lose this, they have no money with which to fight in the third. And then you're facing elimination. You have so many ways in which you could be eliminated from this event. ENCE perhaps shocking the Counter-Strike world.
Liquid stunned. They have to try and wake themselves up here. The last 7 or 8 rounds must feel like a flash in the pan for Liquid. It just disappeared. Suddenly, from a 15-8 lead, they trailed 16-15 in overtime.
I mean, all this talk about in-game leaders, and you're going to have to tip your cap to Alexi. Phenomenal T-side and Mirage rattle off 8 straight T rounds on Inferno to get us to overtime, and now leading in towards overtime with that first round picked up. He's got his team playing so well.
Again, the crowd trying to rally the troops of ENCE. Just shy of 40 seconds, solid flick from Nitro. It'll alleviate some of the pressure on A, which is building. Leaves, meanwhile, using the smoke, and here footsteps finds one. This is where he struck so many times to the CT side, but Alu will find him. Downside is that ENCE are a player behind with 20 seconds to go. Are they moving into the player off B? No, finally they realize that needs to come straight back. Spray through the smoke's not going to yield the frag, and the bomb will get planted.
Naf's playing timid. I'm surprised he didn't get aggressive and get control of construction. His teammates are flanking, but Alu's got a pretty deep angle with that AWP. He's going to have to manage his attention. Nitro, 1 flash, 1 HE grenade. Naf and Alu still stalemated until just now. He got bored of that. Twist has an angle, and Alu cannot react in time. That's just down to Alexi. 1 versus 2 for the map, and it's not going to happen. All tied up 16, and Liquid avoid that disaster of running out of economy.
So here we go, final round of the first half of overtime. And it took a pretty slick retake for Liquid to even get on this half in the first place. Have to remember that in regulation, Liquid put up a chunk of rounds. I believe it was 10 on their T side. You have to think they're going to have quite a few things up their sleeves. Double Molotovs have been deployed at the top of Banana, 1 for either team. Banana completely on fire. No chance for either team to really take over from this. That grenade could do quite a bit of damage though. Oh, lands in the face of Alexi B. Here comes another one. It's a hail of grenades. It's delayed, but it's really chunked down ENCE.
This is dangerous though. Steve's had a couple times at Banana early that has really cost them rounds. This time to Nitro. And with that boost, Sergey knows there's a second. Twist needs to have a big round. That's the bomb on the floor. Down to 2 HP, and he's going to back off, and they've got to be careful. Alu's going to peek out. There's the nade. ENCE opens up a bomb site, and Alu closes it back down. It's just Stewie with an op.
Waiting for Sergey to show his hands. What a shot onto Sergey, but it's got 3 more to find, plus a bomb to defuse. Does have a kit for this, of course, and it's the last round of the overtime. Hoping that ENCE push out a player. The true round the corner, taking a bit of damage from the Molotov is going to allow the T's to know where he is. And ENCE will lead after the first half of overtime, 17-16.
They certainly caught on to something they could exploit on this T side. It took a couple of rounds for them to find it, but they've done such a good job. 9 of the last 10 rounds played have gone to ENCE on the offense. Now remember, it's not over yet. Liquid rattled off 10 of their own rounds on offense. Not an easy thing to do.
You're being my team. I didn't know where that was going.
I imagine Natsu somewhere in this arena running up front to say yes. Here we go. Look at this risk from ENCE. 3 players, 4 players at the B bomb site to initiate, stopping any kind of a fast play. Alu's the only one for the moment defending A. That half of the map. There's no pressure applied anywhere from Liquid. They stay far back at the beginning. Alicia's going to be stuck in front of the smoke. He's the only Liquid player with anything to do. There's the nade work. Double nade down, and he's caught.
So good. They could see the Molotov kept him in logs. They knew he couldn't move. Excellent opening pick, and Alec is feeling it. He is going to be an absolute monster on this CT side. They're starting to get some inroads through on pit, but it's all twins. What can he feasibly do? There's the first, but it's at the cost of half of his health.
Bombs down at top mid as well. It's down in brackets. He's got to go back for it, but Alu, who's already got 2 kills, is waiting. And he's even got Alexi in the halls to just be a nuisance. This is going to be so difficult for Twist.
First, oh, he's been caught from the side. Alu shot out, and Alexi B finishes off the rest. It's now Liquid's turn to sweat. 2 match points for ENCE.
This is unbelievable. Liquid just 1 round away from being eliminated in the quarterfinals here at the Spodek. ENCE has been so phenomenal in this game. You have to give all credit. This is not a matter of Liquid not performing on this map. They had 7 chances to close this out, and ENCE responded each and every time. Now in overtime, not playing like a team filled with guys who have never been here before. 18-16. ENCE about to knock the North American hopes and dreams out of this major.
Liquid hoping that someone can thaw out this very cold start to the overtime and finish strong. Everything points to ENCE getting over the finish line now. The momentum well and truly behind them. This is a very similar position to where Elige lost his life in the round prior. Stewie2K is going to have to be careful. Maybe why they're putting the smoke down, just to allow him to force his orb up the top of Banana, but no one's peeking. ENCE playing this one passively. They've drawn out a lot of grenades from Liquid as well. Stewie has nothing left.
He's even got the AWP on the T side. Seen some good shots from him with it. You can see he wants to be aggressive with it. But a change of approach, at least for Stewie. Perhaps getting a lesson in the Liquid curse here at this major. Here we go, taking mid. That smoke is going to shy him away though. Twist does not want to commit without his teammates. 43 seconds on the clock. Liquid have gained nothing but banana control. Now they've given it up. This is a huge stack for ENCE. It all comes down to this.
35 seconds. Is this the end for Liquid in Katowice? Alu, 32 kills to his name's gonna add another one, and here's the crossfire. Alu with 2. This could be all she wrote for Liquid. 20 seconds left, and Alu chipped in for a 3rd and a 4th. ENCE have done it. They pulled off the upset.
The better team today, and ENCE eliminates it.